Hello everybody and welcome back to Red Eagle Politics. Make sure you guys like this video down below and subscribe to the channel if you are new. So, Donald Trump, he's back on the campaign trail. Trial's still going on. He's getting a lot of media coverage during the week and then on the weekends or wherever he has a day off. He's going to be going to, all of these states, and he's expanding the electoral map. He delivered remarks at a Lincoln-Reagan dinner in St. Paul, Minnesota. Minnesota, he's trying to put in play. We tried a little bit back in 2020. 2016, not so much, but the results were so close that maybe if a little bit more effort was put in, Trump would have won the state in 2016. But still, it's a state that has not been won by a Republican presidential candidate since 1972, a very, very long time. But Joe Biden, not very popular among white progressives, not very popular among the Muslim population there, just similarly to Michigan. And Biden actually did worse in the Minnesota primary than he did in the Michigan primary. It wasn't even close. It's an open primary. There were some Dems still crossing over for Haley, but Trump's percent was pretty much the same as Biden's, which, if anything, kind of shows that Biden has a problem because he's the sitting president. It's not like he's running for president and he's not like an incumbent. And the fact that Biden's numbers were bad shows that there's possibly a pickup opportunity because you're probably going to have a higher third-party vote share, and that's what usually Republicans need to be competitive in or win the state of Minnesota. Donald Trump, he's on fire. He's on fire. He really is. He's throwing it back. I'm not even going to say 2016 because I think it's a different vibe, but not a bad one in comparison. He has the same wit and the same, I guess you'd say he has good energy, better energy than 2020, but in a way it's more reserved, it's more calm, it's in a way presidential. And you look at how Trump is conducting himself, he's still able to entertain the crowd, and he does so in an objectively funny way. He has not lost a step. I think he's gained a step, actually, from 2020, and you see that here. We're going to play the remarks here he gave in Minnesota, one of the segments.
He's all about disinformation. Pilots come in, he said, I used to fly a plane. Truckers come in, I used to drive a truck. People come in from Minnesota. I used to live in Minnesota. Right? He is so full of shit, this guy. Terrible.
It's true. And I did a YouTube short a few weeks ago where we played clips of Biden talking about all the communities he grew up in. All he does is lie. Like, they gave George Santos a lot of flack for his, fabricated past or whatever, in a way that was kind of like amusing more so than anything. But Biden, he claims all these crazy stories happened that never happened, like his great uncle was eaten by cannibals. He claimed that he got arrested protesting for civil rights. Never happened. He claimed he grew up in the black church. He grew up in the black community, the Persian community, the Greek community, the Jewish community, the Irish community, Italian, Polish, every single possible community. The guy said in one speech talking about the Polish, he was self-conscious because his last name didn't end in SKI, but then talking to the Italians, he was like, I was self-conscious, my last name didn't end in O. So yeah, full of shit is about right. Everything that comes out of Biden's mouth is garbage, and Trump is kind of effectively using a little bit of humor to, explain that to people, and it just vibes perfectly the way that he said it. Yeah, he's in Minnesota. I used to live in Minnesota. He grew up in the Minnesota community. He did not. He did not whatsoever. But it's true. Trump is kind of contrasting him with Biden, and in order to do so, he's got to shed light on some of the more, I'd say more frivolous aspects of certain things that Biden says that just make him look deranged, make him look like a clown. That's what he did. But on top of it, he goes to Texas today to talk to the NRA convention here in the DFW area, and Trump then, he still got jokes. Listen to this.
He's still looking for that white stuff that was found in the White House. He's saying, where is it? It never arrived. It never arrived. They can't find it. Everyone thought it was for Hunter. Maybe it wasn't for Hunter. I think it was for somebody else.
So basically, Trump is talking about how he wants Biden to take a drug test if he's going to debate, which, he called for in 2020. I don't know if it's going to happen, but it's true. And Joe Biden's State of the Union, I don't know what he's on, maybe not the white stuff that's being mentioned here, but he definitely was on something. They give him something, he goes out there, he seems like an old man yelling at a cloud, and he's got a little bit more energy than usual. Doesn't necessarily mean he's doing a great job, but the media is able to say, well, he's still with it because he was fiery and energetic. But if Trump did the same thing or gave the same speech, they would be basically calling for the 25th Amendment if he was president, especially if it would be during the State of the Union. But still, Trump is right, drug test. I'm basically saying, yeah, Biden, those drugs are probably for Biden, not even for Hunter, which is, again, funny. And he's able to do that. He's able to still go out there. He has the energy. He has the messaging. He's going out there and he's talking about Joe Biden and how his administration is a failure, but still he's throwing these jokes in there too. He's entertaining the crowd in an objectively funny way. That's what he's got to do, down the stretch. Just keep staying on message. And yeah, the jokes work, but that's exactly what he's really doing. And he's somebody who's taking advantage of the fact that he's stuck in New York all week, too, because Donald Trump is holding a campaign event in the Bronx. And people might say, well, why is he doing this? Why is he not, going to Michigan, which he is going to Michigan, or Wisconsin, which he is going to Wisconsin? But it's important to note that when you do stuff like this, it gets a lot of media coverage. The New Jersey rally was genius because if he was just going to do a rally in Pennsylvania, it's like Trump's going to Pennsylvania, it's not going to be as big of a spectacle. But still, he went to the Philadelphia media market. He probably got more people from Pennsylvania there than he would have if he actually just held a rally in Pennsylvania, because where he held it was in the Atlantic City area, which is a beach destination, weekend destination for a lot of people late in the spring in the Philadelphia metro area, which is exactly the area that he's going to want to improve in, or at least stop the bleeding in, and then do better in eastern Pennsylvania so he can lock up the election. But Trump going to the Bronx, this is something that makes headlines because people are watching it, and it's good optics for him. Some people say Trump's campaign events, they're photo ops. The Chick-fil-A in Atlanta that he went into was a photo op. The people that run it are more Republican. It's like, who cares? Like Biden's never done a photo op before. The whole point of campaigning is to have the best possible photo op, and they're just mad and they're seething because Donald Trump does it. And he's good at what he does when he does it. He'll have the entire streets of wherever he's going to stop in, like the bodega, lined with people that support him. It's like, are some of those people his campaign staff? Like, absolutely. I'm sure some of them are. Some of them are political activists. But who do you think puts on the events? Like, that's just a cop-out cope from these people. And you do have organic protests in the Bronx. You have some of them literally going on today of people in the Bronx who support Donald Trump. And you want to look at the 2020 election map regarding the Bronx, we could do that. And we could look at this, not just the precinct map, but just kind of like zooming out here to get to the Bronx in terms of the county. Bronx County, New York. It's being very elusive right now, but there we go. Trump went from 9% in 2016 to 16% in 2020. He gained 13 percentage points in the Bronx, and he's going to rally in the South Bronx. A lot of these precincts, he was severely getting more and more votes than he got before, and that's what he's looking to go out there and replicate. He's looking to get out these votes again, and obviously I don't think it's going to be enough to win New York, but I don't think it's about New York. I think it's just about the message that it sends, and the fact that it's going to get a lot of media coverage, just like New Jersey. Why is he going to New Jersey? It's like, why is he going to the Bronx? But what's similar to New York City in terms of demography, in terms of shifts that we saw in 2020 that get overlooked? Philadelphia City proper. Trump gaining a lot in Hispanic precincts, Trump gaining a lot in white working class precincts, even some black precincts. He's, I wouldn't say gaining a ridiculous amount of ground in, but like even parts of South Philadelphia where you have a black heavy population, he's gaining. In the city of Philadelphia, Donald Trump did much better percentage-wise. Now, the raw vote margins, that's a whole, maybe you could say it's a little bit of a different story. But in terms of Philadelphia as a whole, Philadelphia technically Philadelphia County, Pennsylvania is what it's called, Donald Trump ended up getting 18% of the vote, which is more than what he got previously in 2016. He did about 3.5% better, despite the national environment moving to the left by 2 points. So that's a trend of basically, when you add it all up, of 5 points to the right. And if the popular vote goes back to even, that means you might see a shift of like 9 points in Philadelphia County to the right. If that happens, Biden cannot win Pennsylvania, and Biden thus cannot win the presidential election. So do understand that and do keep that in mind. It's crucial. And maybe if it's a success, he could replicate it in Philadelphia. He could do it all over in places where Republicans usually don't go to campaign and go to gain voters. But it's smart for Trump because it's on a Thursday. Usually you're not able to fly to a different state on Thursday when you're on trial and campaign anyways. So either way, Donald Trump doing this, going to, a deep blue area and still having a resounding crowd. It's good optics for him. It's going to get national media coverage. It shows he's got momentum. Even if they want to say, well, it's semi-staged, it's a photo op. Who cares? Like, Biden doesn't do photo ops trying to pander to his own base. Biden can't do that. Biden has to pay a black family so he can eat fried chicken with them in a poor, awkward attempt to pander to voters. This is not a joke. Like, this is literally what he's done. So that's that for Biden. That's that for Trump. But when it comes down to it, good campaign from Trump this time around. Well-oiled machine, higher energy, the same jokes from 2016, but in a little bit more of a measured context. He's 78 years old. He's not 70 anymore, but I think he's got more wit. I think he comes off as more presidential. Meanwhile, Biden, they always want to talk about, oh, Trump is too crazy. He's unbecoming, these people that claim they care about decency. Then you look at Joe Biden. Oh, I'm going to take Trump behind the barn or whatever, beat him up. And he's just saying all these crazy things, these crazy lies. But the so-called, oh, we're the intellectual crowd. We vote because we're educated. These midwits that think they're much smarter than they really are just oblivious to that fact for some reason. But either way, Donald Trump, he's in a good position. We'll see what happens this upcoming week. But the fact that he's going to the Bronx, I think it's a good thing. I think it's a good thing. And he's going all over. He's expanding the map. He probably is going to go to Virginia sometime soon as well. So we'll see what happens on that front. But anyways, guys, thanks for watching this video. Like this video down below. Comment down below. Subscribe to the channel. Hit the bell for notifications so you never miss another video. Follow me on social media. The links are all in the description down below, and I will see you guys in the next one. Red Eagle, out.